Just had a report that Debbie Dingell fell asleep in the middle of a hearing yesterday. I mean, it happens. I'm old. There are times I fall asleep sitting there, watching a show with Saul, and I fall asleep. Sure, not every hearing is so titillating that you stay awake, although, you sort of should. It's your job, but things happen.
The great Aaron Rupar pointed out it was hour 20 of the hearing.
It was hour 20?
That was according to Aaron Rupar.
All right. Well, this is sort of an awkward moment where Chuck Schumer is forced to respond to reporting in Jake Tapper's book. And I got to be honest with you. I don't care about Joe Biden anymore. I think that the circle of people who were aware of Joe Biden's state, really aware of whether he could even continue, and he clearly could not continue, will never be held to account, or we have no mechanism for it. And it's quite clear that Jill Biden, Emma texted me this last night. Jill Biden brought Joe Biden out because they were anticipating the release of this book. And they wanted to prove that Joe Biden's in great shape. And that did not work out well. You know what else? It also didn't work out well when he didn't drop out of running for the president. And to Ezra Klein's credit, he called for Biden to drop out very early. Maybe certainly the highest platform person to do it the earliest. Yeah. Here's Chuck Schumer having to answer the question about Joe Biden when everybody's got a question about him as well.
Messaging that you always say that the Republic is on the side for. Sir, I really do want to ask you about something that has been breaking out of CNN. Our Jake Tapper and Alex Thompson have written a book called Original Sin, and they call it a cover-up of Biden's health and his cognition and his fitness, quite frankly, to be president of the United States. You sat next to Biden in the Oval Office, February 27th. 2024, just a handful of months before the president took that debate stage. And it was later reported that you and other Democratic leaders were talking before the debate about having a plan. You and Hakeem Jeffries, Nancy Pelosi, Barack Obama. I understand you later denied that ever happened. But I am curious, I'm interested to know whether the man that you saw sitting there on that couch on that day, you were in there, you saw him up close and personal. Did you really not have any idea that he was not fit to serve a second term?
Casey, we're looking forward. We have the largest Medicaid cut in front of us. We have the whole federal government at risk.
You're facing all of this because you lost a presidential election. And is that not Joe Biden's responsibility for deciding to run again?
We're looking forward.
That's it?
That's it.
All right. Senator Chuck.
Yep. Okay. Well, I think we know the answer to that question. I mean, one of the ways to move forward is to go, actually, no, he was very astute in that moment. And I was really surprised. But these things can happen. There can be a big drop off.
Moving forward like you just committed a hit and run.
Exactly.
Don't look back in the rear
Don't
view.
look back in the rearview mirror. Oh, wait, is there a body lying in the street? Well,
pretty sure that was just like
bygones be bygones. It won't make any difference now if
I'm
I
looking
circle
down
back
this street
around.
now. I took a quick left turn and now it
Exactly. All right, gone. All right. That worked out well. Oh, my God. Look, I wouldn't want to give anybody any ideas, but let me tell you this. We won't rest. We won't rest.
They're asking him about something like a year ago. Maybe given his own age, he doesn't remember.
What? I don't know what you're talking about. All right. 646-257-3920. 646-257-3920. We'll try and take some calls. All the time went away today. Here is Fox News host Gillian Turner asking the most basic question of a senator, Jim Risch. Where is he from? Idaho, about the president's statement or executive order on lowering drug prices. This feels like something you would do like 3 weeks before an election and go like, I'm doing this in 4 weeks. And because it is so obvious nothing's going to happen. Like he made this announcement to basically take heat off of his folding on the China tariffs.
And how pissed people are at like the NIH funding stuff and how that's rippling through.
This is completely this was completely a way of just like changing the topic. And so now everybody has to do cleanup. Like, how is this actually going to happen?
Out of your competing cable networks of giving the president credit for this. This was a huge thing that happened, and it got almost no media at all.
Well, sir, to be fair, the president issued this major executive order, but that doesn't mean that pharmaceutical costs at pharmacies will automatically shoot down tomorrow.
Well, what his objective is one.
Pause it. Incidentally, that's a nice way to say it doesn't seem clear that pharmaceutical costs are ever going to shoot down at all. Right. Not tomorrow, not the next day, not the day after.
What his objective is one of the basic things he wanted to do correctly is to say that Americans aren't going to pay more for drugs than other countries are. It's common knowledge in this country that Canadians and Europeans, for the exact same pharmaceutical,
yes, sir, but what is the,
are.
I guess if you could explain to her, what is the enforcement mechanism?
Before she asks this, one way for us not to pay more than other countries is to not really save us any money, but make other countries pay
That's
more.
the plan.
Exactly.
That's what he articulated. We're going to make them pay more. But let's see. But listen, the point isn't whether or not you're paying thousands of dollars for medication. You're going to be comforted, and your healing is probably going to improve because you're going to know those mofo Canadians
damn Europeans
and French people are not getting away with cheap medication. It's like, this pill's costing me an arm and a leg, but at least those freaking frogs are not getting away with it. Yep.
Get the free, the Ozempic.
Yeah.
So annoying.
The Canadians and Europeans, for the exact same pharmaceutical,
yes, sir, but what is the,
are.
I guess if you could explain to her, what is the enforcement mechanism? What prerogative does the president have to actually make that come true for Americans?
Well, there's all kinds of enforcement mechanisms, not the least of which the order says what it says, and that is that they can't sell drugs at a higher rate. If they do, they're going to be facing a class action by the consumers, and secondly, they're going to be facing an action by the Justice Department that says you can't do this. There's an executive order says you can't. Good stuff on his part. Let's give credit where credit's due here.
It is, sir, as you say, always easier to criticize. Thank you for taking time out.
I'm sorry for asking the most obvious question. The idea that there's going to be a class action or a criminal or civil action on behalf of consumers or the DOJ based on an executive order, I got news for you, ain't going to happen. It's not the law. I mean, whether or not Trump even has the ability, I don't even know statutorily if you could dictate the price that a U.S. company, or for that matter, a foreign company, is charging in a foreign country. I'm not even sure if there would be authority to do that. But there's no legislation, there's no law. It's just Donald Trump's opinion and ask. And you can't sue based on that.
I do like that torts are now the Republican solution to medical costs.
Yes, we need exactly tort reform. Trump says he's considering ways to serve a third term as president. Every time we call out Trump's authoritarianism, the right calls it media hysteria. But here's your reminder. Trump is openly trying to defy the Constitution and run for a third term. But if you don't know the bias behind your news, you might actually believe Trump's just teasing us. Go to ground.news/majority to see how framing influences more than your perception. Media bias is powerful enough to shape policy and, yes, even Trump's ability to undermine the Constitution. That's why we've partnered with Ground News for years now. Their app and website breaks down how the most critical issues we're facing are being spun. By exposing each reporting source's hidden agendas, I can see the world as it is, not as their biases want me to. Even better, if I'm ever reading about an issue on another site, their browser extension flags the source's political bias and instantly links me to other reports so I can verify the information. They're not some new tool I needed to learn. Ground News is a better version of the doom scrolling we're already doing. And after reading your comments, it's clear you'd benefit from them too. I got my viewers 40% off the same unlimited access Vantage plan that I've been using. That's just $5 a month for clarity and context when you go to ground.news/majority or scan my QR code. Democracy thrives on knowing the full story, not just the version you're fed. So sign up for Ground News today. Hey folks, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and check out our daily show. We do it every day at 12 p.m. Eastern for about 2.5 hours. We even take phone calls. You should check that out.